It's Channel 15, Munger Vision. You're looking at the Post 31 squad. Not in their dugout tonight. There's a stinker in the dugout, and I hope it's not a stinker on the field tonight, as there's a skunk that has occupied their dugout. And that's why the dugout is empty, and the guys are all sitting out in the hot sun, and their opponent tonight, first place, Fairhaven. And then you're looking at their big right-hander out there, Andrew Patch. He'll be throwing the ball tonight. And boy, this was a much anticipated matchup again tonight. Remember Sam Maycumber, the big, tall, hard-throwing lefty for Fairhaven, shut out Rutland 1-0 just about 3 weeks ago. Rutland, coming off an upset at the hands of Woodstock, Post 24 has put themselves in an almost must-win position. They have a tough road ahead of them to finish out the season, and they are in, to be a cliche here, in a dogfight to get into the postseason. And this is going to be a good matchup tonight. That game that Rutland lost 1-0 earlier in the year to Fairhaven, the only run of the ball game was blocked in by T.J. Oliver, the Post 31 pitcher. And again, the 1-2 punch of Andrew Patch and Sam Maycumber, combined with the good defense and a Fairhaven team that usually doesn't beat itself. They do a lot of little things right. They're very aggressive on the bases. They play defense well. They small ball when they have to. And like I said, almost a must-win situation for Rutland tonight. And I'll explain why as the game progresses. But Rob Dorian, Aaron Bloomer, and Jeff Bloomer do up here. And it's going to be a ball outside. Well, Rutland right now, if you go down all the way down to Windsor, Hartford, Bennington, Bellows Falls, Rutland, all chasing Brattleboro and Fairhaven. Rutland 2 games behind Brattleboro right now, but they have left on their schedule, and this is tough. Tonight they have first place Fairhaven on their schedule, and then they will play a doubleheader against Windsor at Windsor, a team that is looking itself to survive and get into the playoffs. I believe they're only 2 games behind Rutland, and then Bellows Falls is a 9-inning game Rutland has right here at St. Peter's Field, another team that's in the hunt for the playoffs. And then Rutland will close out against Brattleboro in a doubleheader. So a lot of major games with big significance in a small space of time. You're looking for arms, pitchers, good. You're looking for your team to come together. This is a Rutland team that really hasn't put together a long winning streak this season. That's a pop fly and called for in center field and taken by Tyler Gilbert for the first out. So Dorian retired on the pop fly to center fielder Tyler Gilbert. Yeah, I mean, if you start looking back over the season, Rutland has won 2 in a row. I think 3 in a row is the most, but they really haven't put together the big winning streak several years ago. Remember, they put together that 16 in a row winning streak, but I'm not looking for any numbers like that. They need to put together quite a run right now, because you figure any combination of a 500 split with the remaining schedule, and they probably will not make the playoffs. They're looking to do, a good 4-1, 5-1 type run right here, and that's going to be foul ball down the first baseline. Aaron Bloomer is the right fielder tonight. Andrew Patch, the pitcher, he just throws hard. And that name might be very familiar to you, and I'll go in a little backdrop of some of these players we're going to watch tonight, as that second pitch will be high, and you can't get him to chase it, and he'll hold up for a ball. But let me set that Fairhaven defense for you first. Evan Davis is at first base. Joe Beeland's at second. Dan Hammond getting the start at short. Carl Goodwin's at third base. Ryan Gilbert behind the plate doing the catching. That's right back to Patch. He'll make the grab, throw to first, and there's the out. 5:30 start time, so that the shadows already encompassed the first base side. And again, don't expect a lot of runs tonight. Probably, hopefully, a little more than that 1-0 game when the 2 teams met earlier in the year, and what I thought was the best ball game I've taped all year, as far as home games, but even in a loss. But this Joe Rodolfi pitching for Rutland tonight. He's done a very good job, and there's a strike on the breaking ball. If they do get to the cleanup spot, it'll be Ryan Carter. This is Jeff Bloomer, the DH. He's hitting for Mike Serino, the left fielder. And that'll break outside a tad bit too far. Let me set the outfield for you, defensively. I never got that far. Ryan Hammond is your right fielder. Tyler Gilbert's in center field. And Sam Maycumber is the left fielder. That's the Fairhaven setup. And Andrew Patch, with 2 down, nobody on, pitching from ahead in the count early on here in this ball game. If you start looking through that Fairhaven roster, and Alan White, who is on the bench, Sam Maycumber, Andrew Patch, you start going through, all members of what to me was the feeder program for all these local high schools, the Rutland County Royals. And if you go to that Post 31 roster, that's going to be down to first base, and I'll read that to you at the bottom half of the first, where Rutland will be retired in order. The side will go down 1, 2, 3, and Fairhaven coming up in the bottom of the first of a scoreless ball game. Rodolfi out there, and you'll be looking at Evan Davis, Joe Beeland, and then Sam Maycumber due up. Rodolphe, if I had to give you a ratio of pitches, probably he's 65% curveball. He uses a curveball to set up his, or his breaking ball to set up his fastball, and that's a good pitch right there to need for a strike. 1-1 to count. We're scoreless. Bottom of the first. Fairhaven, a home team. This was a game that was scheduled to be played at Fairhaven or at Castleton State College, which they've been using for their home field, but because of all the rains, that's the shortstop. Nice hop for Chad Ryan, and the throw to first. Pace will make the grab, and there'll be one down here. There's a leadoff batter retired for both sides. And Davis will sit down. Joe Beeland up. Well, but going back to what I was talking about as far as these feeder programs, what a luxury, Rutland area has, all the high schools in the area have. And let me get this pitch in here to Beeland, and that'll be a strike at the knee. If you go down that Rutland roster, Rob Dorian played for the Rutland County Royals. You start looking, again, you go down through it, and they just start to jump out. Let me get this ball here to Sorelli. Ryan Carter played for him. Sam Maycumber played for him. I mean, now they're all playing high school ball. They're all playing Legion ball. And again, just tremendous advantage to the area high school teams to have that intense feeder program, and you can see the influence scattered throughout the entire baseball community. Now Maycumber up, and he'll bat from the left side. All patch, White. Yeah, I started mentioning all of them. And Rodolphe, of course, pitched for Rutland High School. That's a ball right there. If they do get to the cleanup spot, it'll be Rich Colte. He's the DH tonight. He's hitting for... Nice pitch right there, and he'll be batting for the pitcher Patch. Tell you, Joe Rodolphe gets command of that breaking ball early in the game, and this could be a real quick 7 innings. And the weather, yes, the weather's going to cooperate. Don't adjust your sets. That's really sunshine. Oh, but this game was scheduled to be played in Fairhaven or Castleton State College, but the fields are just so wet and so underwire. They moved it back here to Rutland's field. That's going to be hit down to the first base side foul. So base will pick it up. Yeah, that Woodstock loss the other night, like I said, a lot of things are going to happen this weekend that is going to determine the outcome of the 4 teams that make the Southern Tournament, but a win against Woodstock would have really put Rutland in their control of their own destiny. Now they're, like I said, I feel almost in a must-win situation. They couldn't pick a tougher team to be in that position against in Fairhaven. A surprise team? Well, I guess if you start looking at the records over the years, but no, not with the talent. I think the coach has made tremendous impact, tremendous difference for Fairhaven. Bob Gadusky out there doing a nice job for Fairhaven. And Colte coming up. He's got long ball power. He's a big, strong young man. And he'll bat from that right side. Like I said, he's hitting for the pitcher, Andrew Patch, tonight. So Rodolphe from the stretch will throw to first, and he will be held on defensively there by Zach Pace, and the runner, of course, Maycumber back. There's only a couple of steps off the bag. And that sunshine at this time of night. And that's going to be the left fielder looking right up into that sun. Of course, that's Mike Serino out there. I think this is his 4th start for Rutland. There's the throw to first. And Rodolphe, of course, being a lefty, looking right at the first base bag, but he's got a pretty sweet move anyways to first base. Again, Maycumber, pretty conservative lead over there, and that's going to be through the hole at short for a base hit. And you can see Serino come and pick the ball up, and runners at first and second for Fairhaven Post 49. All this taking place with 2 down in the bottom of the first. Yeah, and Tyler Gilbert, young man that played his high school baseball on this field. He played for MSJ, as did his brother, who's a catcher for Fairhaven tonight. So they're very familiar with this setting. Like I told you, the game at Windsor, originally after the game had gotten rained out here earlier in the year, they said it was going to be a doubleheader makeup here on St. Peter's Field, and then they changed their mind and wanted to play on Windsor's field in case they did make the postseason, because that's where the Southern Tournament and the state championship games will be played, is at Windsor. And it'll be fouled off for a strike. Again, Ryan Carter behind the plate. Zach Pace is at first base defensively. Matt Merritt's at second. Chad Ryan's your shortstop. Mike Sorelli at third. Aaron Bloomer, Rob Dorian, and Mike Serino, the outfield. And Joe Rodolphe on the mound. That'll be a breaking ball that ended up short, and nice job by Carter keeping the ball in front of him Getting very slight breeze. Nothing that will be a factor in tonight's game. A lot of blue sky tonight. We shouldn't have any thunder, any lightning, and any rain for the remainder of this ball game. And that skunk is still sitting over in the dugout. Now, nobody told me he was still in the dugout. When I came from the Fairhaven dugout to the Rutland dugout to get the lineup, I just went waltzing on in like always, like a big doofus, and never dawned on me there was nobody sitting in the dugout. All the players were sitting off on a bench outside it, and I walked right by the skunk. And that's going to be through the hole. That's short. And they're going to have to charge the ball, and the run's going to score. So it'll become 1-0. Like I said, a walk and 2 base hits. And Maycumber will score, so that walk turns into a run. And Gilbert with an RBI single. So it's, like I said, a walk and 2 singles. And Dan Hammond now from Mill River. You get to see Dan this season for soccer coming up. Playing for Coach Kevin Ratty. And that came inside, and that's going to be charged. Ryan will bobble it, and he's going to eat it. He'll throw back to third, and safe. Boy, I almost got him at third base as he overtook the corner, and that's going to be a walk, 2 base hits, and an error, and that will load the bases up. So Fairhaven with that 1-0 lead, and it just seems funny, they're the home team tonight on St. Peter's Field. Carl Goodwin up now, and he plays third base for Fairhaven. Yeah, so Adolphe, no problem getting the first 2 batters out. Then the walk. Then back-to-back singles through the hole at short, and Rodolphe took too long to determine what he wanted to do there, and the batter stepped out, asked for time, so good one. Followed by Ryan Gilbert, then Ryan Hammond. Fairhaven with 2 down, and the base is juiced, and he'll get the call on a pitch at the knee on a fastball. And that first game, when these 2 teams met about 3 weeks ago, like I said, it was 1-0 for a final score. Bloomer will make the catch. I will strand 3. They do pick up the lead run, and going into the second will be Fairhaven 1 and Rutland Post 31-0. So as we go to the top of the second, will be the cleanup batter and the catcher, Ryan Carter, Chad Ryan, and then Zach Aquistapace, 2 up right in the middle of that Rutland batting order. And Andrew Patch into the windup. Got the 1-0 lead, and he will be outside and high with that first pitch. Down the outfield took a few steps back. Ryan Carter had a lot of power at the plate, and there's a strike called on the breaking ball. The other night, he was the last batter up in the Woodstock game, and they put the outfield, defensively Woodstock did about as deep as they could be without touching the fence, and his fly out to center field probably was just about 4.5, 5 feet from the green wall. He was just inches away from missing putting one out and tying that ball game up. So they'll be careful with him here, and it's a 2-1 count. And that came inside, and it'll now make it a 3-ball, 1-strike count to Ryan Carter. And again, Rutland, the visitors tonight at St. Peter's Field. And a game that got, like many all through the state, got washed away. Oh, that's a shot to the gap in center field. It's going to bounce and be played. Nice job of getting in front of it and keeping that from going out in the gap, and Carter will lead things off here with a single in the top of the second. That was, well, I've got a different number, but that should be Ryan Hammond out there, who picked up that ball in the outfield. Now the shortstop, Chad Ryan. And again, Rutland without the services of T.J. Oliver, and Alex Muskowski, I believe, is not here either. And 2 pitchers, 2 guys that played catcher in different positions, and boy, at this time of the season, coming down the wire, trying to make the playoffs, you'd like to have that full roster at your availability here as the head coach. And again, for all the rain we have had, the infield is in fantastic shape. You can see on some of those base hits through the hole how the ball died in the infield on the roll. It didn't really, I mean the outfield, the ball really didn't have any speed. So that's going to be something to think about as far as the ground being so saturated, the ball getting to the outfield and then just kind of dying out there on those rolls. And that pitch outside, you can see Ryan Gilbert, or Tyler Gilbert. I get them all mixed up. Ryan Gilbert behind the plate. He came up and cocked his eye like he's going to throw down to first. Ryan Carter with that leadoff single, and there's the throw to first. He'll be back safe. Then Evan Davis over there defensively, holding the runner on. Joe Beelan, who played for the Red Thunder. another feeder program, the Red Thunder out there, represented by Joe Beelan at second, and Dan Hammond, the shortstop. Carl Goodwin is at third. Sam Maycumber, Tyler Gilbert, and Ryan Hammond in the outfield. Andrew Patch off the fist and out of play. He'll go over the screen on the River Street. That's a 3-2 count now. It's also the first base runner that Rutland has had. Zach Aquistapace on deck at first base tonight defensively. It's going to be big, see how Rutland responds to that loss. Oh, just overpowered him with a fastball. Just reared back and let it go. That'll be the first strikeout of the ball game. And I'll bring up Aquistapace. You know, a game like the loss to Woodstock can do two things. It can demoralize you and lose your confidence the rest of the season, or it can kind of get stuck in your gut and leave you a bad feeling and get on that winning streak and want to kind of get PO'd over the whole thing and play with a chip on your shoulder. We'll see which Rutland team comes out at the end of the 7 innings tonight. There's the throw to first, and Ryan Carter will shuffle back over to the bag at first base. And I should remind you about the website that's got the video on demand where you can just click on and watch whatever program, whether it's sports, parades, or talk shows, but it's www.pegtv.com. And you can also go there and find the schedule in case you want to watch the events on good old-fashioned television. And every Saturday afternoon, that breaking ball got away from him. He's trying to set that up with that last fastball. So it's a 1-2 count now. To Aquistapace, 1 out, 1 on, top of the second, 1-0 Fairhaven. Post 49 out there with the red tops. Oh, just did miss. Had some juice on it, but it, if anything, I guess it had to be outside by a tad, but it was close. Very close pitch to take with 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts on fastballs. Oh, make no mistake about it. Andrew Patch is a big, strong young man. And he can throw some heat. Mike Sorelli up now. He's the third baseman tonight. Getting his first look at Andrew Patch. They've got the leadoff single over there at first, and Ryan Carter. And well, he came up and inside and got him to swing, choked him up on it, and that'll be an 0-1 count. Now, every Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, Tom Laypole, the program director at Channel 15, starts playing the sports games of the week. He just loads it up, plays it from 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon until early Sunday morning, just before the church services come on Channel 15. So, you know, make a mark there, and remember, you can watch all the local sports starting at 4 o'clock on Saturdays. Throw to first, the runner back safe. 0-2 the count, and Patch looking to have his third consecutive strikeout here, and that would end the inning. And he does it, and again, he just went to the heat, and that'll strand runner at first. We'll go to the bottom of the second with Fairhaven up 1-0. So the catcher for Fairhaven, also the number 9 hitter, Ryan Gilbert up. Actually, he's the number 8 hitter. I want to apologize for that. Move him up in the order one. He'll take a strike right there. So Andrew Patch, a pitcher for Fairhaven, has faced 7 post 31 batters, giving up the 1 hit. That's going to be to Chad Ryan. He'll make the grab to throw to first. He'll get the out. 6-3 ground out to start things off here as Ryan Gilbert retired. And now the number 9 hitter up. Yeah, so Ryan Hammond is up. And I just heard the PA announce for Nicole Densmore. It is number 3. I just put number 9 in my book, which was wrong. There's a swing on a pitch. It probably is going to be a ball high and out of the strike zone. Top of the order, Evan Davis on deck. That's going to be in the dirt and be low ball 2. Yeah, that first inning for Fairhaven, there were 2 ground outs, 2 down quickly, and then a walk to Sam Maycumber. Then a single by Rich Colte, Tyler Gilbert, and then the error on Dan Hammond's ball. It was hit to the shortstop. And that's what ended up scoring the runs. And boy, he waited on that curveball about as long as he could, and he got around his tippy toes to swing, and that'll be a strike, and all of a sudden a 1-2 count. And he'll short hop that breaking ball, even things out at 2-2. Here at St. Peter's Field, Munger Vision bringing you this American Legion baseball game. What I have left for home games is the 9-inning Bells Falls game. You can watch at a later date on Channel 15. And that'll be a good game. Bells Falls, Rutland, always good games. Plus 2 teams that are going right after each other for that last playoff spot. And then a doubleheader against Brattleboro. And Bloomer won't be able to catch up with Lee. No. What a job of getting back and making that catch. he got going back, and he snow-coned it, but he caught it. And doesn't matter how you get him, as long as you get him, that's an out. It's the second out of the inning. And Andrew, nope, top of the order, Evan Davis now. And Davis grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. So there's 2 outs and nobody on. And this is where Rodolphe got in trouble last time. It was after 2 down. Fouled straight back, strike 1. So Rutland right now has gone 9 innings this season against Fairhaven, yet to score a run. So that first game they lost in 7, 1-0. And they've already been at bat twice here this ball game and haven't even put a runner in scoring position yet. Oh, it's all about pitching. Fairhaven got 2 good ones. That's going to be a foul ball or toward that dugout with the skunk. So Rodolphe now looking at a 1-2 count, looking for his first strikeout of the ball game, and also looking for his first 1-2-3 inning here on the mound. Nope, and good discipline right there at the plate by Davis. He wouldn't chase that high strike ball, that elevated fastball. He wouldn't go after it. A strike ball, there you go. Breaking ball hit out toward Bloomer, a little easier catch right here, and he'll leap up, make the grab. He'll have 2 of the putouts, and it'll be the inning right there, and we'll still have that 1-0 lead. Fairhaven going into the top of the 3rd. So in the 3rd, top of the 3rd, we're going to be looking at Joe Rodolphe, Matt Merritt, then Rob Dorian, who represents the top of the order. Like I said, Andrew Patch they're still working on going through the rotation once against them, the batting order once against them, and he had a very, very strong second inning. It started off with a single by Ryan Carter, and then he struck out Chad Ryan, Zach Aquistapes, and Mike Sorelli all in a row to end that inning. And they were all strikeouts on fastballs. Well, they have quite the combination with this right-hander Patch and then the left-handed Maycumber as far as quality pitching. And one thing I like about Fairhaven, too, is when they hand the ball to their pitcher, they have a lot of confidence in him. They let him know that, and they let him control the game. And within reason, if he's going strong, they'll let it be his night. And there's a strike called right in there. Pop on the glove, makes a 2-2 count. Rodolphe kind of faded out of the box on that, and he'll get reset now. And again, chasing a lot of balls up out of the strike zone here early on in the ball game. We're in the 3rd, and they've been going up the ladder chasing a lot of high pitches tonight, which only worked to Patch's advantage and stays at 2-2 the count. That lone run coming back in the 1st inning for Fairhaven. Oh, tied him up inside, and that was, I believe, fouled, but was caught by the catcher, Gilbert, and that'll be the 4th consecutive strikeout. Going back to the last inning, 4 strikeouts for the ball game, and just great placement, jammed him inside with it. So Matt Merritt, the second baseman now, is the number 9 hitter, and he'll look at strike 1. You can see Gilbert behind the plate going up, get that high pitch right there. 1-1 the count. And Rob Dorian, like I said, he's the top of the order. He is on deck for Tony Sorelli's post-31 squad. Started out the season with back-to-back wins, 1 on the road, 1 at home. And then things got tough. There was a lot of parity in the league this year, I believe. Good teams, but not a real dominant team. Not like North. If you look at the standings, that SD Ireland squad, that undefeated record. Man, a big sigh of relief off the Rutland bench after that pitch. It goes 2-2 the count to Matt Merritt. Looking for his 5th consecutive strikeout. He won't have it, but it looks like he'll get the ground out. It's going to be the shortstop. Hammond pumps, fires, got it. Good job by Hammond, charging that slow hit grounder. And so 2 down. And now Rob Dorian flied out to Tyler Gilbert in center field. Getting a second look now through the order at Andrew Patch. And Patch really in sync with his mechanics out there and his motion. And Aaron Bloomer, the on-deck batter for Rutland, in case they do push it to another hitter here. On a perfect night for baseball. All set for the dugout over Rutland. Everything perfect night for baseball. We've had a couple first during the week. That home run that went over the left field wall, hit by Woodstock's catcher. And that's going to be right at Hammond. He'll make the grab. That's the inning. Hit hard, but right at Hammond. That's going to be the third out. We'll stay 1-0 Fairhaven going into the bottom of the third. Strike one right down the pipe from Rodolphe. He's looking at Joe Beeland, Sam Maycumber, and Rich Colte. And that's got a chance to drop in front, and yeah, good effort by Bloomer, but got a late start on the ball and came in and went off the edge of his glove. Beeland will be over at second base. Like I said, he played for Rick Smirski at the Red Thunder. That's another one of those all-star, I think it has a U14 squad. But boy, great feeder programs around the area. Now Sam Maycumber up, he walked and scored the game's only run. Now Maycumber, of course, everybody gets wrapped up that great pitching he does, but he's a good hitter. He's up there lefty against lefty right now, and of course they're going to hold Beeland on, and Beeland with very good speed over at first base. And again, post 31's gone 10 innings this year without scoring a run against Fairhaven pitching, so very obvious they've got to keep this game as close as possible, and they will be safe on the dive back. Was paced with a big tag, showed the umpire the ball, but he was back safe. Beeland was. Rich Colte on deck for Fairhaven post 49. And nice pitch. Yeah, fastball tagged the middle of the plate for a 1-1 count. Again, Rodolphe. Keep an eye on that base runner. They're going to play him very close to first. And Matt Merritt will stay down on the ball. There's one out. Chad Ryan to first, and tell you, Matt Merritt gets involved in a lot of opportunities for double plays. You see Maycumber coming back to the bag as he hustled it down the line, and they will get that leadoff runner on the force out. I just got to write this down here. 4-6, and the Maycumber on the fielder's choice. Okay, now Rich Colte up. He singled his first time up through the hole at short. And then the on-deck hitter is Tyler Gilbert. He had the RBI single through the hole at short to get the game's only run in. And Rodolphe coming to the plate this time will be down low and inside. Again, Ryan Carter doing an excellent job defensively, keeping that ball right there so the runner can't advance from first base over. That was a 1-2-3 inning for Rodolphe in the second, and there's that move to first. You can kind of tell when he's going to go to first. He exaggerates the leg kick. And see if he does it. You can see how much lower his leg kick was right there. Now when he goes to first base, watch him. And it goes to 3 balls, no strikes. So Rodolphe getting a little. He's got to watch the base runner. He'll look caught up with the base runner more than throwing strikes, and that will be a 3-1 count right there. That's a good pitch. Good pitch. Rich Colte got stranded at third base after he got that single back in the first. And that's a foul ball caught right in the glove of Ryan Carter, and all of a sudden it goes from a 3-0 count to a full count at 3 balls, 2 strikes. And there's the move to first, and that was kind of an awkward throw actually over to first. Seen a lot of balks this year too. I mean that was not one there, but to go back to first, back-to-back tries, and again not a very big lead at all to begin with for Maycumber over there. We're in the bottom of the third, scheduled for 7. Mary Rugel's 5 innings in a 7-inning game. I doubt we'll see that. And this looks like it's going to travel without a play. Yeah, be up against the fence. And Pace will scoop it up, bring the ball back in. Yeah, but the way the mercy rule would work, which won't, I don't think it'll come into play tonight, obviously, but in a 7-inning game, the team that's trailing by 10 runs or more has to have 5 at-bats. And the pitch. That's going to be inside, and that'll be a walk, and that'll push the runner down to second, so they'll have first and second. And that's the second walk of the ball game, issued by Rodolfi, looking for his first strikeout of the night. He's got the 2 walks. And this inning started off with Beeland getting a single. And now Tyler Gilbert up the center fielder. Like I said, he's got the game's RBI. And he'll watch that curveball come over the plate, but be high, and it'll be ball 1. Same defense out there for Rutland. Carter behind the plate, Rodolfi on the mound. Sorelli's at third. Chad Ryan's at short. That's hit down to Ryan. There's going to be 1. Merritt on the turn, and they got him. Quista Pace with the big stretch, and a double play will end the inning, and it'll stay 1-0 Fairhaven going into the 4th. So Andrew Patch with 4 strikeouts in the ball game. We're going into the top of the 4th. He is only given up the 1 hit. He's faced 10 batters. He's 1 over the minimum, and he's going to be looking at Aaron Bloomer, Jeff Bloomer, and Ryan Carter. Like I said, he's struck out 4 in a row. That's the 4 he has in the ballgame. Giving up the 1 base hit to Ryan Carter. Hasn't walked anybody yet. And that Rutland defense right there, again, seems like every game they're able to somehow come up with the double play, and that was a well-executed 6-4-3 double play. That's got a chance, and yep. Tell you what, that was pretty well scooped. On the run at the knee to keep the ball from going beyond Maycumber and do more damage. So Bloomer will have the second hit for Rutland, and Jeff Bloomer, the DH now, he grounded out to the first baseman, Evan Davis, unassisted, just a ground out to the first baseman. Rutland down 1, and they do have the third baseman, Carl Goodwin, in on the grass at the corner. Oh, starts him off with a very rare breaking ball, first pitch breaking ball. It's been a lot of fastballs, a lot of dominant fastballs by Andrew Patch. And of course, they do have Evan Davis holding the runner on at first base. That'll be fouled out of play. 0-2 the count. And with the 0-2 count now, they'll back the third baseman up a good 3 to 4 feet beyond the bag toward the outfield side of third base. Oh, nice pitch. Oh, with 2 strikes, you just wonder how they watch those with 2 strikes. Nice location, outside corner at the knee. 5th strikeout of the ball game, first out of the 4th inning. And Ryan Carter up for the 2nd time tonight, the catcher for Rutland. He had a single back in the 2nd inning. And don't forget too, as hard as Patch throws, pitchers supply a lot of power to these heavy hitters. This is a lot of fun to watch this matchup right here. Started him off with a breaking ball right there. Dipped way outside. It'll be ball 1. Came back with the fastball, and now at 2-0 count to Ryan Carter. The on-deck batter is Chad Ryan. So from the stretch, and only for the 2nd time tonight, we'll see Andrew Patch. And above the belt, but called a strike. 2-1 count. And Andrew Patch elevated the fastball, and now he'll go to a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Like I said, Rutland starting their 11th inning this year against Fairhaven, looking for their first run of the season against Post 49. And a lazy curveball will be ball 4, and that'll push the runner down to second. So Aaron Bloomer will go to second, Ryan Carter will go to first base, and Chad Ryan, who was the first of 4 strikeouts in a row back in the 2nd inning at the plate. And you can see that Ryan Gilbert, the catcher, coming out to talk to Andrew Patch. And also Coach Tony Sorelli, the head coach and third base coach for Rutland, having a chat with Chad Ryan. So Gotta be honest with you, just average speed out there right now on the bases for Rutland with Aaron Bloomer at second, Ryan Carter at first. And that's gonna be again high. And you know, the difference in this inning and the last 3 innings is Rutland was chasing those high fastballs early in the ball game, and now they're letting them come in. And they're getting ahead in the count now. And that's a good pitch. 1-1 to count with 1 out, 2 on, and Rutland down just to 1 run. We're in the top of the 4th. Yeah, top of the 4th. Rutland is the visiting team at St. Peter's Field tonight. Yeah, and I think it's, I don't know if it was discussed in the dugout. Well, actually, they can't talk about it in the dugout tonight, the Skunks in there, but I don't know if it's discussed on the bench, but they're not going after those pitches out of the strike zone. They're making Patch pitch now. And, ooh, just missed with that one, and he'll go to a 3-ball count for the second time in the 4th inning. So Rutland with something happening offensively here. And that will load them up with 1 down. Zach Aquistapes struck out his first time up. Now, this is going to bring a visit from the head coach to the mound to talk to Andrew Patch. If you go back to the first game, Rutland had the bases loaded in the 5th inning in a 1-0 game against Maycomber, and were unable to deliver the tying run or even a chance of a go-ahead run in that situation. And this is where they've got to really take advantage now. Bases loaded, less than 2 down. There's 1 out. As good as this is offensively, this also, I look at it from the defensive side. You have a force out at any base, more combinations to turn a double play and get out of the inning. And no, I was kind. I said average speed out there at 3rd and 2nd. And the meeting has been adjourned. It's been broken up, and it'll be interesting to see what will transpire. Aquistapes at the plate with Sorelli on deck. And Rutland with their first, well, their only scoring opportunity of the ball game. And boy, he challenged them with the fastball, and Aquistapes just laid on the swing, strike 1. Aquistapes has been struck out a lot this year on breaking balls, and Patch just went strength against strength right there and won that particular round. Oh, and he just tied him up with the breaking ball up top, and he'll go to an 0-2 count now. Pitcher's call. He's up in the count. He can be clever here or just try to elevate out of the strike zone with the fastball, see if he can get him to chase it. 1 down, bases juiced, and the pitch. He laid off it, and it'll miss outside a tad bit low, and it'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes. Up until this point, Rutland had a single base runner as far as first base was it, and that was back in the 2nd. Oh, and he came inside, too far inside, and again now Aquistapes able to get it all back to an even count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And so the big righty set for the pitch. It's a breaking ball, and it's back. And Gilbert trying to chase it down. Gilbert watching it and makes the grab, literally against the wall. He'll drop the ball, and at least 1 run will come in, and Carter will end up at 3rd base, and they had to hold up because it looked like he was going to make the catch against the wall. So Gilbert able to track it down, concentrate on it, but then not make the catch against the wall. Aaron Bloomer will come in to score. Ryan Carter goes to 3rd. Chad Ryan goes to 2nd. Aquistapes to 1st. He has an RBI. Now Mike Sorelli up. He struck out back in the 2nd. We got a 1-1 game, and Rutland with a chance here for a big inning with a 1 out. And that's going to be a base hit through the hole at first by Sorelli. 1 run, 2 runs coming in. Here comes Chad Ryan, and Rutland will have the 3-1 lead. And Sorelli went down low, got it, drove it through the hole between 1st and 2nd. And I just need to find out. Aquistapes ends up at 2nd base. Yeah, and it's now Joe Rodolfi up there, and he also struck out his last time up. So what a difference going through the lineup twice now, getting a look at the stuff from Andrew Patch, the pitching from Andrew Patch. Plus the fact, like I said, they exercised a little more patience early in the count and got ahead in the count. And they were kind of sitting on those fastballs. But Sorelli's bat in the last 5 games has really come to life for Rutland. In the Woodstock game, he had the triple. The game prior to that, he had the double. This is going to be a slow hit ball down to B-land. He'll charge fire and get the out at 1st. Runners do move up to 2nd and 3rd with 2 down. Now Matt Merritt up. And he grounded out to the shortstop, Dan Hammond. That was his only plate appearance. So second and third, still a big moment right here. Base hit, possibility could score 2 runs. And you can see how slow the balls hit on the ground are traveling. Even though they've mowed the field and everything, the ground just saturated and soft. There's a strike called. So Patch was just moving along, had retired 9 of 10 post 31 players, and they have come through here in the 4th. Swing and a miss, and Merritt will be down 0-2 in the count. Oh, it's important to cash in all the runs you can. So it took 11 innings in 2008, but Rutland finally racking up some runs against Fairhaven pitching. That is a pop fly out in that sun field, and Maycumber says he's got it. He does, but the damage has been done. It'll be 3-1 Rutland with the lead going into the bottom of the 4th over Fairhaven from St. Peter's Field. Alfie now pitching with the lead here in the bottom of the 4th. Dan Hammond at the plate, and he will look at ball 1. Yeah, Hammond reached on an error committed by the shortstop Chad Ryan. Not that I don't think ironic's the word I want, but they both Mill River graduates playing on different Legion teams. And Rodolphe, like I said, he relies a lot on mostly on that curved breaking ball stuff he throws right there. And when he finds his rhythm, he can be just like a sniper out there throwing strikes. Mixes the fastball in just to complement the breaking ball, or sets up the fastball with the breaking ball. So a 2-1 count, and Hammond awaits the pitch, and boy, he helped him out there. He went up out of the strike zone and fouled it off. 2-2 the count. Ryan Carter still behind the plate doing the catching. Zach Aquistapace is at first base. He just missed hitting a home run last inning. Gilbert, the center fielder, literally pressed against the green plywood wall out here in center field to make the catch. Matt Merritt's defensively at second. Chad Ryan's at short. Mike Sorelli, who had a couple RBIs, is top of this inning, and is at third base. And that'll be in the dirt, and that'll make it a full count out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now Mike Sereno, Rob Dorian, and Aaron Bloomer make up the outfield for Rutland. That's going to be to the shortstop, Ryan. He'll flip to first and get him. So a second time today that Ryan's been able to handle Hammond's, but this time he handled the ball in the air the first time. Carl Goodwin, who flied out to Aaron Bloomer in right field, will be up against Joe Rodolphe. And like I said, Rodolphe's, you take away that first inning where he pitched to 7 batters, and he's been very efficient. He had a 1-2-3 second, faced 4 batters in the third, and retired the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 4th. And they'll be fouled back. And up in the count, 0-2. Goodwin and then Ryan Gilbert, the catcher, awaits on deck. If they go to the number 9 spot, it'll be Ryan Hammond coming up to the plate. So post 31 looking to avenge an earlier season 1-0 loss to Fairhaven. They said they're 2 games behind Brattleboro, and a whole bunch of guys clumped together for that number 4 spot. Well, I'm just trying to qualify to get in the tournament. And Rodolphe got him on the breaking ball, and it must have been dropped. Ryan will throw down to first and get the out. So his first strikeout of the ball game comes in the 4th inning. Ryan Gilbert grounded out to the shortstop Chad Ryan his first time up. Now Rodolphe looking for a second 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. Boy, and again, with a lot of games coming up in a short period of time, and they're all against top quality opponents, and all have tremendous meaning on the outcome of the playoffs. You think you'd want to get as many innings out of Rodolphe's arm as you can stretch it. That pitch was a ball. And I wait, everybody gets reset, everybody back into position. And if a long way to go here, but if Rutland is to pull this off tonight, they might start a new tradition of not sitting in the dugout. Oh, good pitch right there. 2 balls, 1 strike as he split the plate with that one to Ryan Gilbert. Again, both players very familiar with each other. As Rodolfi pitched for Rutland and Gilbert played for MSJ, and they would face off against each other throughout the season. 3 balls, 1 strike on a very close pitch that last time. That was called a ball. Beautiful pitch. We'll have a full count with 2 down. 3-1 Rutland with the lead in the bottom of the 4th over Fairhaven post 49. And he got him with the big bender. He'll have 2 strikeouts that inning and hold that 3-1 lead going into the 5th. Patch, through 4 innings of work, has 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, and allowed 4 base hits. He's given up to 3 runs. And he is looking at the top of the order, Rob Dorian. The Rutland center fielder will just kind of jackknife back. 0 for 2 today. He's flied out to center field, lined out to the shortstop, Dan Hammond. Again, Rutland scoring all 3 of the runs last inning, and that's going to be a high chopper foul down the third baseline. And that'll leave everything up now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, it's never too early. Start promoting, start plugging the really big show, the United Way fundraiser, a talent show held at the Paramount Theater the first Saturday at 7 o'clock. First Saturday in November. And beautiful Paramount Theater. And Sam Grusso will be the MC as always. A lot of entertainment from dancing, singing, comedy, all kinds of good stuff. And that's the first Saturday in November, and all the proceeds go to the United Way of Rutland County. So mark that on your calendar. And if for whatever reason you can't make it in person, that will be aired on Channel 15 throughout the month of November. 3 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff batter, Rob Dorian. And Patch trying to regain that same control. It's right off the fist and going toward the concession area and be out of play. Actually, it's going over on St. Joseph's Avenue and out of play. So 3-2 the count, full count, with Aaron Bloomer, Jeff Bloomer, and Ryan Carter also due up here, providing they get to that 4th batter. That's going to be pulled down the third baseline. Again, your coaching staff is head coach Tony Sorelli at Rutland Post 31. Jamie Briggs is the assistant coach, along with George Bennett. Ron Fairbanks is the general manager. He's not here tonight. I can't remember last time Ron missed a ball game. He's at the Lake Monsters, I guess is what they're called, up in the Burlington area. Taking in the ball game on Channel 15. I know he will. He'll watch what he missed on Channel 15. Dorian following off a lot of good pitches here, making Patch keep throwing them. We're in the 5th, scheduled for 7. Rutland trailed 1-0 for the first 3 innings, and then came through with 3 runs in the 4th. They have that 3-1 lead, and they are the visiting team tonight at St. Peter's Field. And he really earned the walk. That is a good at bat. Yeah, he really earned that walk. 3rd walk of the ball game, and now Bloomer up. Last time up in the 4th, he had an RBI single, and actually I want to correct it, he had a single and scored in that 4th inning. So Aaron Bloomer, the right fielder tonight. The Dorian, an excellent candidate to put him in motion. He is. First pitch, he's up and going to throw down, and he's going to beat the throw. Dorian will be in there with the stolen base. Beelan will scoop the ball up, but the tag will be applied late. Now Rutland with nobody out, a runner in scoring position, so you get that leadoff batter on. Gives you all kinds of options as a coach, and Rutland being very aggressive running. Now this will just break all the concentration of the pitcher here, and it gets the infield moving around defensively, creating holes and gaps. As Dan Hammond, the shortstop, staying behind second base right now. That ball will be hit to Hammond. He'll scoop it up, fire to first, and get him. The runner does go to third base, so the runner at third with less than 2 down. That's how big that steal was. And now Jeff Bloomer up. He struck out looking at strike 3 in the 4th, and he had grounded out to first base prior to that, and that'll put Ryan Carter on deck. So Rutland with Rob Dorian down at third base, and just the 1 out here in the top of the 5th. And got Andrew Patch. Was all set to make the pitch, and it was his catcher that needed the time. He's got to adjust those straps on the shin guard. So Jeff Bloomer stepping back in there. And a big breaking ball stayed up, never really snapped off, and it'll be ball 1. Yeah, if you go back through the first 3 innings when Andrew Pash retired 9 of the 10 batters he faced. He was pitching from a head and count probably 80% of the time. And that's a high fly ball. Maycomber looking. Will they tag? Will they send? He's heading home. Maycomber with the throw, and they got him by a mile. Maycomber with that great arm out there will get him on a double play to end the inning, and it really wasn't even close at home plate. Maycomber right on the money, and the catcher behind the plate, Ryan Gilbert, had plenty of time to catch it, set himself up, and apply the tag. We'll say 3-1 Rutland going in the bottom of the 5th. Defensive play to end the top half of the 5th will carry over here some momentum to the offense of Fairhaven as Joe Rodolfi's really settled down nicely since that first inning. He had a 1, 2, 3, 4th inning with retiring the last 2 batters he faced on strikeouts. He's looking at Ryan Hammond, and that'll be a foul ball down the third baseline. Oh, Maycomber with a tremendous arm. If you followed his career from the Rutland County Royals to when he played for MSJ to Fairhaven, I mean, playing very shallow in left field and just perfect throw home. Oh, I'm thinking maybe low. It looked like it caught the plate, but he won't get the call. It'll be a 1-2 count. Oh, he had the table set right there. Got him with the fastball. Now, if you go back to the last inning, that's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Rodolfi. He's looking at the top of the order now, Evan Davis. Davis is grounded out to Chad Ryan at short, and he flied out to Aaron Bloomer in right. So he's 0 for 2 from the leadoff spot. And on the run, and that's going to drop in. And see Dorian able to cut that. That's what speed does. He didn't make the catch, but he kept it to a single because he was able to get there and cut it off and not let it roll to the wall. Great play that will really go unnoticed in the scorebook. That was a great hustle play right there by Robbie Dorian. Now Joe Beeland up with a runner at first. Fairhaven down by a couple runs here in the bottom of the 5th. And Evan Davis, very conservative lead down there at first. That pitch was high for a ball. Yeah, Rodolfi had retired 5 in a row before that base hit. He's got 3 strikeouts all happening in the last 2 innings. Getting at a little rough first inning, and then he's just kind of really gotten into the feel of the game. I tell you what, his fastball has been very effective tonight. It's been cutting away from the right-handed hitter, down and away from the right-handed hitters. Got a 1-1 count. Rutland already turning 1 double play, a 6-4-3 double play back in the 3rd. And boy, Carter with a great stop behind the plate. You see a lot of catchers make the play with their glove like a shortstop, and that's really incorrect. He got out there, slid to his left, made his body big, let the ball just absorb into his chest protector, drop right down in front of him. Beautiful form. And oh, they gave him time on the... Oh, boy, I got to question that. That pitch was halfway to the plate when he's called time. Very fortunate break right there for Beeland. And it looked like a strike also. That will be a strike there in the foul ball. So a 2-2 count with 1 out, 1 on. I tell you, this game's had the feel of a playoff game right from the opening warm-ups. Both teams very intense. Again, Rutland, like I said, see what team you're going to have after coming off that Woodstock loss. They got him, they had him in a pickoff, and the ball dropped, big turn, and the runner slides down, and he'll scatter back there. And they had him in a pickle, and Quispace is trying to make the grab. Make the play before he makes the grab. And the runner ends up at second base with 1 out. So Evan Davis in scoring position. Beeland at the plate with a 2-2 count. So Rodolfi checked the runner back to second and came in high with the pitch was high. And he'll run it now to a full count. Sam Maycomber on deck for Fairhaven. And he'll get the walk, so runners at first and second, tying run at first. Go ahead run at the plate, and Maycomber, he has walked and scored in the first, and then he reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd. And he's got that great assist from the outfield to get Dorian out trying to score. on that fly ball. That pitch will come in high. So Rodolfi really not high in the pitch count tonight in the 5th. Should have a lot of gas left in his tank. Yeah, from the stretch. He'll look in, and that's going to be out of play. That's a good pitch. Right in tight on him. So Maycomber looking at a 1-1 count right now. Again, Fairhaven scored their only run back in the 1st. It was Maycomber who came around to score. And then Rodolfi had a 1-2-3 second, faced 4 batters in the 3rd, a 1-2-3 4th. He's on his 4th batter here in the 5th. Boy, I tell you what, that was a great curveball. And you see the guy, the Rutland team sitting outside on their benches. There's a skunk in the dugout. Yeah, and nobody told me that. And guess where Doofus Jerry went before the game for his lineup? Walked into the dugout. Hey, everybody! And look, it was all empty, nobody in there. And I'm walking all around, and everybody's telling me there's a skunk in there. When that's been a stinker, huh? Got him with a breaking ball. Oh, what a beautiful pitch! Pulled the string on it. Out number 2 on strikeout number 4. Now Colty up. He singled and walked, so he's officially 1 for 1 tonight. And again, Fairhaven, same rules apply to Fairhaven that apply to Rutland. In a game that you know is going to be tight and means a lot to both teams, you got to take opportunities like this and score. That's popped up a mile. Sorelli trying to locate it, comes back, circles around, and nope, it's out of play. It's over near that Rutland makeshift dugout. So after all that excitement, everybody will go back to 1st and 2nd for Fairhaven. Colty will go back in the batter's box, and the defensive players will get back into defensive position for post 31. A lot happened on a play that ended up being nothing, except a foul ball strike. So yeah, 4 strikeouts for Rodolfi, all coming in the 4th and the 5th inning. 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. He's given up a base hit and walked the batter here in the 5th. He's trying to hold on to that 3-1 lead right now for Fairhaven. Or for Rutland, I'm sorry. Oh, what a great curveball. Oh, 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 oh. See, that ended up on the inside corner, but it was on the plate. It's not where the catcher catches the ball. He had set the table for that breaking ball. Fouled off. Good job by Colty, just getting a piece of it right there with 2 strikes. But I'll tell you what, the crowd's getting into it now too. Hope you've enjoyed all the American Legion Baseball action brought to you on Munger Vision. Great opportunity just to thank American Legion Post 31 for allowing me to videotape their ball games, put them on Channel 15 Sports. I'd like to thank the MSA Athletic Association for also letting me be here to videotape at their facility. And that will be fouled down the first baseline. This has turned into an excellent at-bat for Colty. Somebody with some good advice over in this behind home base to Joe Rodolfi. Don't worry about the runners. Take care of the batter. You'll have the 3rd out. Oh, that's going to be up. Dorian will pick it up off the bounce, and 1 run coming in to throw the 3rd. They got him in a run down. It's 3-2 Fairhaven down by 1, and you're watching the pickle play, and Merritt will make the tag. That's inning, but they will pick up the run, cut the lead, though. Well, wait a minute. I don't see it on the board. 3-2. Okay, it's official now. So Rutland will head over to their open air dugout, and 3-2 now for Fairhaven down just 1. Triller will come to bat for Ryan Carter. Ryan Carter in the bullpen getting loosened up. He'll be the pitcher on the mound for the 6th inning of work for Rutland. Fairhaven down that 1 run, and you can see number 12 with his back here, Andrew Patch out there. And the shadow is creeping across the pitcher's mound now at beautiful St. Peter's Field. So Triller, when he's got an opportunity to come to the plate, he's done very well this year. He's had 3 or 4 base hits in a pinch hitting role. Got a lot of speed when he does get on base. He's got Chad Ryan behind him, and then Zach Aquistapes to appear in the top of the 6th. We're scheduled for 7, and that pitch was high from Patch. Yeah, Patch with 5 strikeouts in the ball game. Been helped out by his defense. I go back to that catch and throw. Catch out in left field by Maycomber, and then throwing the runner out, trying to score a home base. 3-2. We got a barn burner here at St. Peter's Field, and just much anticipated rematch between Rutland and Fairhaven. Fairhaven winning the first game 1-0. Again, that was Maycomber with 12 strikeouts in that game, taking on TJ Oliver. And the only run in the game scored on a balk by Oliver that allowed the runner from third base to come in to score. 3 balls, no strikes. And Triller will be down at first base. And Chad Ryan up. He had a walk and a strikeout. He scored a run in the 4th. Now, see if they'll play a little small ball and try to get that runner over to second base. Trying to get some insurance runs here. He'll square, and oh, it's popped up in the air and into the screen. Very fortunate. And again, it's irrelevant what I think, but once you start with the bunt, you stay with the bunt. See if you'll keep it on here. My opinion, if you start with the bunt and then reverse, you've wasted the at-bat. You put your batter in the hole already. And the same if you do it the other way around. I mean, start with it, stay with it. Patch will step back off the rubber. And he'll get set. Chad Ryan will step back in, the shortstop for Rutland. And see if he pulled the bat back in time. It was close. I believe he did, and it will become ball 1. See, this is the beauty of baseball right here. All the strategy taking place and being orchestrated right now in this at-bat. And see Patch thinking more about the bunt than throwing the ball across the plate right now. You got that defense shifting around, everybody moving. You got Triller down at first base. You got a 1-run game. Beautiful facility. Come watch a ball game. And that's a good bunt. That's going to get the job done. He'll throw to first, get the out. Yeah. Got the job done. Nice sacrifice laid down by Chad Ryan. Yeah, so now they have a runner at second base with just 1 out. And Aquistapace up, he had that booming single up against the center field wall. And ended up being a single because it looked like Tyler Gilbert was going to be able to make the catch, and the base runners at the time had to wait and make sure he made the catch. So a very brief meeting on the mound between Ryan Gilbert, the catcher, and Andrew Patch, the pitcher. And getting that runner second's a big run right now in a 3-2 ball game in the top of the 6th. Right back, and oh, 1 pitch, and he got him. That's 2 down now, and Triller able to avoid the double play and get back to second base. Sorelli up. He had 2 RBIs with a single in the 4th, and he struck out in the 2nd. And again, every run's huge in a contest like this. And I'm not sure who asked for time right there. They had Dan Hammond, the shortstop, standing in front of Triller. And now the pitcher-catcher get together again. I can't believe really it's signs at this point, even with the runner at second base. Like I said, Sorelli's bat has really come to life, especially in the last 4 or 5 ball games for post 31. Like I said, yeah, and what Coach Sorelli's coming out to talk about is the shortstop. Dan Hammond's been coming over and over and over, and he's been putting his glove up in front of the runner's face, screening him from seeing the play. Now, I guess the protocol is to issue a warning, and then I think the next time would be to allow the runner to go to third, award him the base. But yeah, he's hey, if you get away with it, you know. And now the Fairhaven coach is going to have a talk with the umpire and with Coach Sorelli. Coach Sorelli is going to turn and go back to the third base side. And the most amazing of that whole thing to me was it had to be pointed out to the umpire who's standing right there watching everything. I understand blocking the view of the base runner, but I can't see where it's an advantage defensively to be standing at second base as the shortstop. That just leaves that whole left side of the field wide open. So an interesting moment here at St. Peter's Field. We've had a lot of them. We've had a home run where the guy didn't tag home base, and that turned into a 20-minute discussion. And we've had a skunk in the dugout, still there, won't let the guys go in for Rutland and use their dugout. And now we've had the registering of the shortstop putting his glove in front of the base runner's face. That's why you got to come to these games live. Not just baseballs, all kinds of cool stuff going on. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 down, runner at second, Triller. He was a pinch hitter for Carter. He got walked and sacrificed over to second base. Carter's been in the bullpen area warming up. He's going to be the pitcher for post 31 at the bottom of the 6th. So 3 balls, 1 strike, and ball 4. First and second with 2 down. So Patch's control that was so sharp in the first 3 innings kind of letting them down here in the next 2 innings. A lot of that, like I said, Rutland batters just became patient. They were chasing a lot of balls out of the strike zone through those first 3 innings. Now Joe Rodolfi up. He struck out and grounded out. And he'll bend back on a pitch inside with some juice on it. Oh, to be young again. If I bent back like that, I'd have to go see my chiropractor now. 3-2, we got ourselves a tight one here at St. Peter's Field. And it means a lot to both teams, but it means a lot more to win right here for Rutland, just mathematically where they are in the standings. They're in a clump with a whole bunch of other teams chasing. Fairhaven would have to self-destruct not to make the playoffs right now. And he'll miss inside. You notice one thing different about Patch is those first 3 innings he threw the ball, and he's aiming the ball right. He's doing a lot of thinking. He's lost a little confidence, and that wasn't a full relaxed motion from his arm, pitching arm. He's aiming, he's not throwing anymore. And he'll load him up with the walk. So the bases are juiced for post 31. And Matt Merritt up, and again, like I said, from that number 9 spot, Matt Merritt has really produced at big moments in ball games. And see, now I think the coach right there just asked, it's not going to be counted. That first time he came out wasn't a visit to the mound. He doesn't want to take his pitcher out with the second visit being charged to him. So he'll talk to Mr. Patch, and I don't think he's going to take the ball from him. That's something they do early when they go to the visit. He's going to stay with him, ride him. In a 3-2 ball game, bases loaded. 2 outs, though, is the key number right there. 2 down. And Matt Merritt was grounded out to the shortstop, Dan Hammond, and then flied out to Maycomber in left field, trying to just survive the 6th inning. And again, the first game was won 1-0. Fairhaven post 49 with the win. And this is a 1-run ball game here tonight. A much different looking Rutland team tonight than when we saw play Woodstock, I would hope. So every base you take a look at, post 31's got a man standing at it. Matt Merritt wants to put the ball in play and put pressure on the defense to make a play. And there's ball 1. So Patch all of a sudden cannot find the strike zone. So long look in and the windup. You notice he's gone back to the full windup, and again he's just not relaxed when he's letting the ball go now. He's aiming the ball. He's in a whole lot of a pickle here. He's got 2 balls, no strikes, and nowhere to put Matt Merritt. The bases are loaded. Rob Dorian is the on-deck batter. There's a strike. Inside corner. Now, Patch had that first pitch in the sequence was right there called a ball. He didn't like it. Matt Merritt didn't like that right there called a strike in the same spot. So nobody's going to be happy. And that will be ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. And stating the obvious, a walk here will force a run in. And Andrew Patch. Got to take it 1 pitch at a time. Got it back to a full count. He's looking for his 6th strikeout of the ball game to put an end to this threat in the 6th inning. And we'll have one more visit as Ryan Gilbert. Ryan Gilbert coming out from the catcher spot to talk to Mr. Patch. That'll give the umpire a chance here to dust off home base. And so right back to a full count. You got to guess fastball, I would say. Oh, he just missed. I'll tell you what, that was an awful tough pitch to take as ball 4, as that was as borderline could be. Rob Dorian up now. He walked his last time up. He's flied out to center field, lined out to the shortstop. Rutland's lead back to 2 now at 4-2, and they're going to stick with Patch. Oh, a base hit here would be huge. I figure it'd score 2 runs. That got jammed, and Hammond says he's got it. Going back, makes the grab. Rutland will pick up a run. We'll see Ryan Carter on the mound when we come back from the fade. It's 4-2 Rutland going into the bottom of the 6th. So the shadows completely across the infield now as you look at the back of number 24, Ryan Carter out there, the right-hander coming on in the 6th inning of a 4-2 ball game. Joe Rodolfi's evening is done at the pitcher's mound spot. He's gone out to play right field for Rutland. What a good job Rodolfi did. He had a shaky first inning and then settled down nicely to go 5 strong innings. He ended up with 4 strikeouts, allowed 4 hits, 3 walks. His team committed 2 errors behind him, and he's only given up the 2 runs. And they're going to be looking at Tyler Gilbert, Dan Hammond, and Carl Goodwin. So let's see. Game started off with the feel of a playoff game with that tension. It's stayed right through that way in the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th, going to go 7, at least 7. And Ryan Carter's first pitch to Mitch Blair behind the plate. Mitch Blair's coming in to do the catching. Will be a BB, but it'll be low for a ball. And Joe Rodolfi, like I said, is now the right fielder. Rob Dorian remains in center, and Aaron Bloomer goes from right to left field. Sorelli remains at third. Chad Ryan's your shortstop. That is a strike. Second base is Matt Merritt. First base is Zach Aquistapace, and that is the defense in the 6th for Rutland. Trying to rebound off a loss. The last place team, Woodstock, come back with a big win here against the first place team, Fairhaven. And it's been that kind of year. All through the league. I honestly can't, personally, doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. I've seen all the teams come through here and play, and I can't say a dominant team exists in the South. There's 4, 5, 6 good teams, but not a real dominant team, which would make the postseason very interesting this year. Because being a number 1 seed the last several years hasn't worked out for the number 1 seeds. And that is Mitch Blair now. I saw him come see his jersey number. So got a bad knee, got a sore knee. They're down a couple players who played catcher's position, Muskowski and Oliver, and so Blair got to go out there and catch it. Aaron Bloomer has done some catching this year. Oh man! I'll tell you what, he snapped that pitch off, and I'm not quite sure where it missed, but it had to be awful close to ringing him up. 2-2 the count. And the pitch. He just came back to the heater and got him. So Tyler Gilbert will go down swinging at a flame thrown across the plate. So nobody on, 1 down, and Dan Hammond up. He's reached on an error, and then he's grounded out to the shortstop, Chad Ryan. And that will be called a strike. A very flexible strike zone here in the 6th. Actually, the whole ball game. Now, if they call that consistently, that's a pitcher's pitch. Oh, he just came back with a fastball. And he's got that 0-2 count. Well, I was told by several people how I missed probably the best pitching performance of the year when he struck out 8 of 9 batters down in Bellows Falls. And, I can't see them all. He'll come back and I'll go 5-hole on Mitch Blair. Yeah, somebody hollering from the sideline, don't overthrow. And good advice right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 4-2 the score. Bottom of the 6th. Rutland trying to climb their ladder back into the playoff picture here. Oh, they've got a tough road ahead of them. A doubleheader at Windsor, a 9-inning game at Bells Falls, and a doubleheader against Brattleboro. All playoff contending teams. That loss to Woodstock will loom. If they don't make the playoffs, that'll be the one that will loom in the back of their minds that cost them. So we stay at 1-2 on the fall ball. Carter into the windup, the pitch, and that'll bounce in the dirt, and we'll go to a 2-2 count. It's Dan Hammond got it back to even at 2-2. Rutland with 3 runs in the 4th, 1 in the 6th. Fairhaven with a run in the 1st and a run in the 5th. And this has been good baseball to watch tonight. So after having that 0-2 lead, he's gone to a full count now. The first batter he faced was Tyler Gilbert. He struck him out, and Dan Hammond's got him all the way to a 3-2 count now. Got him, strike 3. Great location. He got that low outside corner call again. That's twice that sequence. Now Carl Goodwin up. Goodwin's flying out to right field. At that time it was Aaron Bloomer playing right field, and he has struck out. And now it's against Joe Rodolphe. So Fairhaven, with 2 down, nobody on base right now. We're in the bottom of the 6th on Munger Vision. Got him. High fastball, swung right through it. Oh, he's throwing with some pop on the ball. When you come to a game with the reputation Ryan Carter's earned through his whole career from little tiny league up through, 2 things happen. You have the guys that in dugout kind of curl up on the bench, go, "Oh crap, Ryan's in there," and then you have the other guys that say, "Oh man, I want to bat against this guy. He makes me fired up." You might have that kind of presence. Great pitch. 2 strikes now. 1-2, looking to strike out the side here in the 6th. Ryan Carter on in his first inning of work on the mound. Winds it up and lets it fly, and came inside and jammed him for a ball. I tell you, I was talking to former Rutland assistant coach and pitching coach Jeff Brewer a couple games ago. He's sitting in the bleachers. He said they just don't. People don't do that enough nowadays. Brush back. Don't hurt anybody. Just brush him back. Got him, strike 3. He will retire the side on strikeouts. 2 of them looking, 1 of them swinging, and we'll go to the top of the 7th and Rutland up by 2. They'll come back out with the starting pitcher, Andrew Patch, here for the 7th inning. And Fairhaven, just like everybody in this area in Vermont with all the rains, I mean, same victims as Rutland is. I mean, a lot of games now have been clumped together because of all the rainouts. And they've got until Tuesday, I think I was told by the general manager, Ron Fairbanks. They can play till Tuesday, and then that's the cutoff line. And again, with a doubleheader coming up tomorrow for Fairhaven, and they were out to service as Kurt Hughes, who's left to play Shrine football. They're getting a little pinched now in their order. And boy, there's a million ways to look at that Shrine football thing, interfering with Legion postseason. I know it's tough. I know it's both an honor, both things, both football and baseball. But once you make the commitment to Legion, I think that's where you got to stay. I just don't think you can have the best of both worlds. There's no reflection on any player. It's just over the many years of doing this, I've seen it affect the Legion play much more. To change a roster after saying relying on a player that can hit for power and pitch you out of trouble and lose them for the football season. Oh, good pitch. Yeah. Right there, and you'll set the table with strikeout number 6. So strikeout number 6 becomes the first out as Aaron Bloomer, as he'll get caught looking. Now Jeff Bloomer up. Now he's grounded out to the first baseman. Evan Davis has back in the 1st inning. He struck out looking at strike 3 in the 4th. And then he flied out to Maycumber. That's going to be over to 3rd, picked up. Good win, we'll get him. Yeah, it was high, but the first baseman, Dave's able to keep his foot on the bag, and 2 down now. Ryan Carter up now. Remember last time Mike Triller hit for him as he was taking his warm-ups. Carter was in the bullpen. Now Ryan coming out. He has singled and walked twice. He has scored 2 runs tonight, or his spot has there. Because remember, Triller came around to score. And that pitch high. And Patch has come out here in the 7th and really settled down nicely, get the first 2 outs. I mean, it's very obvious his job right now is just keep the deficit at 2 runs. And that missed, but boy, that had some bend on it. So it goes to 2 balls, no strikes. The on-deck batter is Chad Ryan. And in good discipline right there as he laid out that high fastball to make it a 3-ball, no strike count. Usually the best pitch in the sequence is right here, 3-0. The best pitch to hit. Most of the time they won't give him the green light though. And there's a strike call. 3 balls, 1 strike. Well, we're in the 7th, scheduled for 7. 4-2 Rutland trying to come back and get a much needed win here and put themselves right back in control of their destiny as far as the playoffs go. Ball tip caught for strike 2. Ryan Gilbert behind the plate. So full count now to Ryan Carter. A strikeout and a ground out. That's the first 2 outs of this inning. You see Patch waiting for everybody to get all situated and all set. 6 strikeouts on the night for Andrew Patch. And that's hit like a rocket to short. Hammond with the scoop to throw and got him. Yeah, he came down, made the bag. Nice job at first base by Evan Davis. So Fairhaven needing 2 to send this thing to extra innings, 3 to win it. And coming up, we'll see Ryan Carter back on the mound. He struck out the side in the 6th. And Carter will be looking at the number 8, number 9 hitters in top of the order. He's going to be facing due-up Ryan Gilbert, Ryan Hammond, and Evan Davis. Gilbert is 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out to Chad Ryan at short, and he struck out. And that would be Joe Rodolfi. That was back in the 4th. Rodolfi in position to win the ball game tonight. That's ball 1. Oh, on a perfect night for baseball. No humidity. It wasn't oppressively hot. No humidity. Oh, and a good ball game. Real good ball game by both teams tonight. 1-1 the count. Bottom of the 7th. Brattleboro 2 games up on Rutland right now, but they'll end the season with a doubleheader against each other. And oh my goodness, I have no idea where that pitch was other than down the heart of the plate. Yeah, 2 balls, 1 strike, and on a pitch that left everybody scratching their head, he'll come back and get him swinging on that outside pitch. 2-2 the count. And Fairhaven jumped out to that 1-0 lead at the end of 1 inning of play. Rutland with the big 3-run 4th. Fairhaven responding with a run in the 5th, and Rutland with a run in the 6th. And he'll get his 4th strikeout in a row. 3 of them have been looking at strike 3. 1 was swinging, and he's faced 4 batters, struck out all 4. Now Ryan Hammond due up, but they're going to have Alan White pinch hit for him. And so Alan White off the bench and put into duty here in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. And White has really struggled at the plate, I thought, this season. But I'm looking at the situation right now. A bunt would be perfect if he could make contact. Have Sorelli deep at the corner at 3rd. Oh, he's got tremendous speed. Well, we'll see what unfolds here. 1 out, nobody on. Rutland just 2 outs away from avenging an earlier season 1-0 loss to Fairhaven. And a game that was as tight and as good and as exciting as this. That's going to be strike 1 right down the pipe. And again, throwing nothing but just flames tonight from the mound. And he'll stop. They want him to tuck his shirt in and look good for the camera. You know what I think of this? I mean, I understand the grooming thing, but it's just it breaks the rhythm of the pitcher. So he looks good. He's set to go. And Alan White, the pinch hitter. And again, that ball just overpowering. Got to be close. Got to be in the mid-80s. He was clocked at 90 at his clinic tryout, his baseball factory camp tryout. Now he can bring it. He's got an 0-2 count. He's struck out 4 in a row, looking for number 5 right here, and he'll just miss low and inside. Be the first ball in the sequence. It'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes now. And Ryan Carter into the windup to pitch. Strike 3. Good night. He'll sit him down. That's 5 strikeouts. The last 4 have all been looking at strike 3. Evan Davis up. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He's grounded out to shortstop, flied out to right, singled, and scored a run in the 5th. So Ryan Carter looking to strike out all 6 Fairhaven batters he will face in relief. We'll start him off with a strike right there. Oh, and you got to go back to that Woodstock loss. You take that away and then win tonight by Rutland. They've been right in the catbird seat. That'll just miss inside low. 1-1 to count. Rodolphe had 4 strikeouts in his 5 innings of work. Carter struck out the side in the 6th. The first 2 batters here in the 7th. Has a 1-1 count going right now to Davis, and he'll, oh, great placement. Inside and overpowered him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And what a weapon to bring in on to pitch the 6th and 7th, Ryan Carter is. For the ball game, the pitch coming will be lined, and they'll have a life. They'll get the base hit off him. Rodolphe will pick it up, and the tying run will come to the plate. So after striking out the first 5 batters he faced, that was a very good at bat right there by Evan Davis. Evan Davis down 1 ball, 2 strikes in the count, goes the opposite field, gets the base hit, and they'll bring up Joe Beeland. Beeland has grounded out to short. He has singled and he has walked, so he's ran the gambit. And you can see them talking. There's Bob Godlewski, the head coach, talking to Beeland, and so Fairhaven with still a pulse right here. They have the tying run at the plate with 2 outs in the 7th and a runner at first base. Davis with excellent speed at first base. Carter for the first time tonight from the stretch. Right there, strike 1. Nothing fancy, just gas down the middle of the plate. To look in, the pitch coming. This could be the ball game. Will come down to Matt Merritt. He'll go to first base, and Rutland has rebounded with a stunning loss to Woodstock to get a gut victory. Big gutsy check right here with the win over Fairhaven. Great ball game tonight from St. Peter's Field. It'll be Rutland 4, Fairhaven 2. And this will set off now, like I said, a domino effect throughout the standings, as both teams now will have very busy Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays to get the Legion regular season done, and they keep jockeying for playoff position. So the win will go to Joe Rodolphe, the save will go to Ryan Carter, and again, get out there, support American Legion baseball action in your area, and always support Munger Vision on PEGTV.